UCO men's basketball team saw their season end over the weekend, falling 91-74 against Upper Iowa in the first round of the NCAA Division II Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. It was a huge game for Isaiah Wade in what would turn out to be his final game in a Bronco uniform, as he scored 30 points and grabbed 11 rebounds. Callan Hayden added 19 points and 5 dimes, but it wasn't enough for the Broncos, who fell behind early and trailed by 21 going into the locker room, and even a strong second half where they outscored the Peacocks by 4 points wasn't enough. As you can see all around me, no breaks in this winter storm as of yet, which means no school yesterday, no school today, and no school tomorrow. But there was action on the hardwood for your UCO men's and women's basketball teams last night. Coach Joe Van's team continued their impressive run, building off of a strong indoor season, and after having to cancel a game on Friday due to weather, they'll be back in action against old conference foe Northeastern State this Friday right here at home in Edmond. Construction continues on the newly renamed Chad Richardson Stadium, as all of the renovations will hopefully be in place for the 2022 UCO football season. It will be the first for the Broncos under new head coach Adam Dorrell. Snow on the ground means campus is closed. School is canceled for today. One thing that is still going on is UCO basketball, men's and women's basketball, in action tonight at the Hamilton Fieldhouse against Central Missouri. You can see an empty baseball diamond behind me. That's because we just finished up a game here on campus in Edmond between your UCO baseball team and Missouri Southern. Missouri Southern was victorious in this game 18-7, and they swept the series with the Broncos 3-0. UCO's next two games are against Northeastern State and Southern Nazarene University coming up. The women's tennis team finished as the runners-up at the ITA Indoor National Championships, a tournament they hosted at the Edmond Center Court. The Broncos were in the championship match thanks to a thrilling upset of number 2 Indianapolis in the semifinal round. Here's Joe Van, the coach of the team, talking about the team's run.
It was a good start to the season to really kind of get used to the surface and be able to implement a lot of our new game styles, try out our new doubles tactics, and it went really well. We played really solid tennis leading all the way up to the tournament, national indoors. Once we got to national indoors, the girls really went ahead and put it all together. They capitalized and seized on the moment.
But it was the number 1 seeded Barry University Buccaneers that once again took home the championship after defeating UCO 4-0.
It would have been really great to obviously be able to bring home the national championship, but we ran into a tough team that is Barry University. But leading up to that, being able to beat Columbus, being able to beat the number 2 team in the University of Indianapolis, we showed real fight. We showed real gut, being able to stick it out and just finish the match overall.
UCO's season doesn't end there, however, according to Coach Van.
We start the outdoor season. Tomorrow we start our first practices outside, and then that'll take us into next week. We have 2 opponents in southeastern Oklahoma and Angelo State, both nationally ranked teams, so it'll be good to see kind of where we stand, getting our feet wet outside. And then after that, it starts up conference, and everything starts marching towards the MIAAs and regionals and NCAAs outside. So we're really looking forward to it.
The Broncos have 8 conference duels scheduled in March and April. It's been an up and down season for the UCO baseball team in 2022. The team has settled in over their first few series and has had its share of peaks and valleys. For instance, there was a tough road trip to Colorado and a series with MSU Denver in early February, where the Broncos won only 1 game and gave up 24 runs in total. How did they respond to that? By outscoring their next 2 opponents, East Central and Southern Nazarene, by a combined score of 28-9, leading into another 3-game series with Missouri Western that they won 2-1. Here's UCO's Kobe Grimsley on the team's attitude when adversity strikes.
Last night we got beat, and we're expected to come out this game and, just overcome adversity from last night and show them what we got.
UCO had another important series with MIAA foe Rogers State that they also won 2-1 over the weekend. Their next conference opponent is Missouri Southern, who will visit the Broncos Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Welcome back, Bronco fans. I'm Aaron.Gelvin, and this is your Thursday Sports Update. The UCO baseball team is in action as we speak on the road in Maryville, Missouri against Northwest Missouri. This is the first game of a 3-game series that will continue tomorrow and Saturday. This is an important conference series for Central as they are 14-10 in MIAA play at this point of the season. The Broncos are 22-15 overall as the end of the regular season is quickly approaching. The regular season's final game is May 1st, and the MIAA conference tournament begins on May 6th. And the UCO soccer team has added 2 new additions to next season's squad. The team announced that they added transfer Amaya Grace and soon-to-be freshman Lauren Piper ahead of the fall season. Both hail from the state of Texas, as Grace spent last fall at North Texas and actually arrived on campus in January, as she has been helping the Broncos through the spring. Piper arrives from Rockwall, Texas, and we'll see how these 2 new players contribute to next year's team. And the NBA's play-in tournament continued last night, and the action started with the Atlanta Hawks hosting the Charlotte Hornets. Atlanta ran away with this one, winning by a score of 132-103. Oklahoma native Trae Young was the star for the Hawks as he scored 24 points and dished out 11 dimes. Young and the Hawks will pay a visit to the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow night in a win-or-go-home game, and the winner will face the Miami Heat in round 1 of the playoffs. And last night's action continued in the Party City of New Orleans with the Spurs visiting the Pelicans. This was a more competitive game, but the Pelicans were able to hold on for the victory in front of a very supportive hometown crowd. C.J. McCollum, a midseason addition for New Orleans, was dynamic in this one, dropping a game-high 32 points en route to the win. The Pelicans will now travel to Los Angeles to take on the Clippers tomorrow night, and the winner of that one will take on the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the Western Conference playoff. And when Tiger Woods speaks, the entire golf world listens. After a terrible car accident in February of 2021, many thought Woods would never professionally play golf again. Now, just over 13 months later, Tiger has announced that he will compete in the 2022 Masters. Woods will tee off at 10:34 on Thursday morning. Tiger, of course, won the 2019 Masters in thrilling fashion, but a win coming back from the devastating injuries he suffered would rank among the best moments in the golfer's illustrious career. The Masters, golf's biggest event, will tee off on Thursday and run through Sunday. And finally, the Seattle Seahawks have agreed in principle to trade star quarterback Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. Wilson must waive his no-trade clause for the deal to go through, but the proposed trade involves Denver QB Drew Lock and other players on the Broncos, as well as a haul of draft picks going to Seattle in exchange for Wilson. Any and all moves made in the NFL at this time cannot become official until the new league year begins on March 16th, but by all accounts, this deal will be completed at that time, as one of the biggest names in the NFL is on the move. The Oklahoma City Thunder fell last night on the road against the Utah Jazz as they lost by a score of 137-101. Jalen Horde led the Thunder in scoring with 23 points, while Utah's Rudy Gobert tallied a double-double of 20 points and 10 rebounds. The Thunder fell to 24-56 on the season and have just 2 games left in the year, both in Los Angeles. They play the Lakers tomorrow night and the Clippers on Sunday night. OKC is angling for a top pick in this year's draft, and fans hope they can add a player that can get them back into the postseason in the years to come. And from the hardwood to the diamond, today marks opening day for Major League Baseball as the league's 30 teams begin their regular season on a slight delay after a lockout that lasted for a good portion of the offseason, 99 days to be exact, and had many of the game's fans thinking there would be a condensed season or even no season at all. In the end, though, the players and owners were able to agree, and the fans are happy to have baseball back. The Atlanta Braves are the defending champs and will begin their title defense against the Cincinnati Reds tonight. Young phenom Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Angels will open up against the Houston Astros. And it's a tradition unlike any other. The Masters began today at Augusta National in Augusta, Georgia. Australian Cameron Smith is finished with his first round and currently is in a 3-way tie for the lead after an excellent first day on the course. And the biggest story of all is Tiger Woods returning to major play after a horrible car accident nearly 14 months ago. It was thought by many that Tiger would never golf at this high of a level again after the wreck, but his comeback became complete as he took the course this morning. Tiger was particularly impressive on hole 1, shooting an even par on a hole that he was plus 16 on in his career coming in.